Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how to leverage Totango to build powerful reports to visualize trends. The first step of building a report is actually creating segments. So if you're familiar with the segmentation capability, if you're not, we have some recordings already and some hot tips on this. But basically what I've done, I've already prepared some segments for us to leverage, and I will show you one of them to give you a quick example. So today I'm going to look at segmenting customers and looking at specific usage patterns. So customers that are not using documents within my product and customers that are. And then I'm going to visualize that in my reports. So basically the segment is looking right now at all my paying customers that are not using the documents module. So they have done nothing in here, no more than 0 times in the last 14 days. I also have one where customers are using it in the last 14 days. So those are the 2 segments I'm currently looking at. And to build a report, I am going to go into the reports section on the left navigation panel. I'm going to click on create, and that brings me to my building blocks for starting a report. The first part is to add the segments. The easiest things that I find is to actually type in a couple of keywords, and then all of the keywords come up, so you have all your segments available to you if you don't remember exactly what the segment is called. So I have a couple of them. So I have using documents and not using documents. So one is going to be using documents. I can actually edit the colors of this by clicking on the little pencil icon. I'm going to make this green because it's good, because they're using documents. And not using documents, I'm going to make that red. When I click on OK, I have my 2 segments selected. If you have others, you can choose them, but I only need 2 for this particular example. Right away, as I've added them, I do see results in my view here. So I have my 2 segments identified. I have the total number of customers that fall into that segment, and then I have the other segment as well. And I also have some trend lines. So I have my color-coded trend lines for both of these segments of customers using documents and not using documents. Each data point represented a date. So the last data point is always going to be the day yesterday, as we aggregate the data at the end of the day each night. So the day prior is the last data point that you'll have in the report. By default, you have trends for the past 30 days, but you can actually adjust that on the top. So you can look at any of these data options. You can also do current month, quarter, and year, and also have a custom range. The other powerful thing of reports, when you start analyzing your data and bringing in these components, is actually the ability to slice it by any data point. So by default, I actually like to break it out by success manager, as I do want to see how each success manager is doing and what kinds of customers and trends we see with their customers using and not using the product or certain components of the product. There's other things you could do. You can look at any attribute value that is being sent to Totango. So this is data that you're sending to Totango, either from your CRM system or directly from your product. So I'm going to select ARR. A lot of times it's just contract value. So I'm going to grab this one as well, just in case. There's everything essentially that you can have at your disposal. So just grab a few of these just to give you an idea of what that would look like. So all of my components are brought in, and now I have all this information. So I have information by ARR, which is the same as contract values, just redundant. I have it by success managers, so all of the representation of my success managers and how they're doing with essentially document adoption within their portfolio. If I hover over, I can actually see each individual CSM's breakdown, and I can click on these little rectangular bars if I wanted to look at the specific accounts that are within that segment that are using documents, for example, for Ron. So that's available to me. I also look at it by journey stage. The other cool part of this is that you can actually change the distribution or how you look at the data. If you click on the little drop-down arrow next to these to the right and click on Edit Breakdown, you can change the way this is displayed. So you can see it in a table view, which is sometimes what I like to do, and you can change the interval. So if the interval is too wide or too narrow, you can change it. You can also change the sorting. You have the range, So you can swap that and make it applicable to you. When I click on OK, this is going to start looking different for me. So essentially, I brought this over to look like that. So now I have it by contract value, and I have my distribution, so I know customers, how many customers I have within 0 to 1,000 by contract value, how many of them are in each. And then when I hover over, I can actually see a percentile view. So that's just another way to look at the data, which makes it really interesting. And you can do the same with any of these. Other things that you can do with this report, you can obviously save it, give it a really clear and meaningful name. You can save it as new, so you can essentially duplicate this report if you're looking to leverage the existing work like a skeleton, and then replicate your work and just swap out the segments when you build another report. So those are all very, very cool options. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, I'm Cecilia Tavel. You can always reach me at cecilia@totango.com if you have any questions, and I will be happy to help. Thank you so much.